mixed with like a sophistication, guys. This is a fragrance which is slept on for me. What's happening, guys? Valentines is back again. If you do like this content, please do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, leave your comments down below, and we'll get into it in respect of this particular video. Now, guys, feeling a little bit rough, feeling a little bit tired. Just come back from 2 nights out in a row. Was out for Valentine's night, and then again was out for last night, which is, I don't know if that's Valentine's or post-Valentine's, not sure. Is what it is, people doing what they're doing. Anyway, a little bit rough, feeling like I got a cold, so please bear with me. So guys, this is just a discussion about what happened when I wore this particular fragrance for 2 nights in a row. Valentine's night and then the night after that. Now, I wasn't particularly interested in going out on Valentine's night, not necessarily in a scenario as such right about now, not necessarily in a situation or situationship as far as I'm aware. However, I decided, well, my friend called me and said, hey, such and such is going on, are you coming out? And I was just like, can't be bothered with these things, because it's kind of like, people who turn up to these things on Valentine's night and they're single and everything else like that, kind of feels like they got nowhere else to be. Do you really want to be that guy? But at the end of the day, my friend was like, look, at the end of the day, go out, enjoy yourself. You're overthinking it. This will be the best time for people to go out and meet somebody else if that's what they want to do. I'm not necessarily in that position. However, I said to myself, you know what, at the end of the day, I only live once. What are you focused on? Because you could create something in your mind that's not actually there, and then you go there and realize it's something completely different. And in a way, I'm glad I went on the Friday night. So we have Friday and Saturday. So what I decided to do, I said to myself, how can I make this a little bit more interesting for myself? Maybe me being a bit of a geek in my own way, this was interesting to me. And I said to myself, let me have a look. And this seemed to be one of the most complimented fragrances, or the most hyped fragrances at some point, I think. And currently now, actually, it's kind of still a fragrance which is still relevant to this day. I'm not saying it's necessarily something which is completely, you know, stand out so unique, but at the end of the day, it's still a fragrance which still gets some level of respect. And that is this one here, guys. Bleu de Chanel Parfum Concentration. So this, guys, I mean, this is kind of like, I don't want to say standalone in respect of what it is, but at the end of the day, it's still a very sought after fragrance, I'd say, in some respects, and it's not cheap at all. When I bought this one, this has come out since 2018. When I bought this one, guys, this fragrance came out 2018, and I've only bought, I think this is my only bottle of it since it came out, and I paid roughly around about £100 for it. Let's say about £98 or something at the time. This is 100ml. Now when I look online, let's have a look and see what's going on. Now we look online, Bleu de Chanel from Chanel, £143, and let's see, that's for the 100ml, whereas your 50ml is coming in at £103. Now, could you get away with a 50ml bottle of this one? Possibly, because this is not a fragrance which you're going to go for on a daily basis. This is something where, again, I thought to myself, it's complimented. I've had compliments on it, but at the end of the day, it's not something I wear that regularly. So I thought, let me just make this a little bit interesting, a little bit more sexy. Let's try and step this up and wear this fragrance. Didn't want to go into the niche houses just yet for this particular night out. I thought, let me stick with this, because there's some randoms out there. I feel like I'm wasting my fragrance. Bruh. What's the point? So, first night, we're talking about Friday now. First night on Friday, did I get any compliments from this fragrance? No, I didn't. No one came to me and said, you smell nice. No one mentioned anything in that regard. However, the distinction was, though, I did spend some time with, let's say, one particular person. And with that space of time, guys, if someone's comfortable to be around you in that way, it does kind of make a difference. So when I smelled this fragrance, guys, I said to myself, you know what? It's for the grown and sexy. It's not necessarily, it's not like a beast mode fragrance of Parfum Concentration. It's close to the skin. Just looking at the note breakdown as well. Note breakdown, let's get into it. Note breakdown is saying lemon zest, bergamot, mint. It's saying it's got some lavender, pineapple, geranium, sandalwood, cedar, amber, iso super, and tonka bean. To me, guys, this fragrance is kind of like dry. If you were to imagine like a type of wine, which is a little bit like, you're not getting necessarily a lot of sort of, let's say, flavor from it, if that makes sense. It doesn't necessarily make you, how can I say, it's not a loud fragrance. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a dry fragrance. It's close to the skin. It's woodsy. It smells to me like sandalwood, tonka bean, creaminess, mixed with like a sophistication, guys. This is a fragrance which is slept on for me. I've not necessarily worn this that often, as I say, but this is a fragrance that slept on for me. And the first night, guys, no compliments, no unsolicited compliments. However, I did manage to spend some time with somebody to the point where I said, you know what, this fragrance ain't doing too bad. This one seems to be okay. Bruh. So let's get on to the second one, guys. So the second night, this was Saturday night now. Again, we're coming back at like 5 AM from these parties, guys. So just bear in mind with me again, mine's a little bit foggy with it. However, 5 AM come back. What happened again? And again, this is in the nightclub now, so this is not like just randomly on the street. No compliments at all, not a single compliment whatsoever on a Saturday night. But I'm a mature person. I'm in a scenario where at the end of the day, I won't expect someone just to come out of it. I don't think necessarily, it does happen, you can get compliments from time to time, but no one's necessarily just going to come out and just say, oh, you smell nice, everything else like that. And there's no such thing as panty droppers, so don't actually get into that, guys. Now, Saturday night, we're here again. 2 ladies spending some time. Was this down to the fragrance? I don't know necessarily, but I think it also comes into the whole sort of how you come across, guys. It's not just about the fragrance. It's never going to be just about the fragrance. No one complained and said that I smelled bad. No one complained and said, oh, I don't like what you smell. But ladies felt comfortable enough to be around me, again, for let's say, prolonged period of time through the night. So with that in mind, guys, you got to bear in mind, this does, for me, it adds a little bit of sophistication. I can smell it. I'm not sure what that was. I'm going to come a little bit closer. I'm going to spend a little bit of time closer to you just to sort of get your aura and get your energy and get your sense. This fragrance to me, guys, seems to be the one that seems to be doing this. This fragrance seems to be one of those fragrances which, again, mature, sexy, gives a little bit more, not too much, not too loud, not too in your face, not juvenile, but coming closer, we can have a talk about it. That's what this fragrance is to me, guys. So I would say, no compliments. You don't necessarily need a compliment. If people are willing to spend time with you, there's a few things I've gone into that. Obviously, you know, make sure your breath don't smell. Make sure that you're wearing clean clothes. Make sure your clothes are presentable. All these little things go into it. But also, guys, the vibe. One thing I notice about fragrances, and again, this is what I want to stress for you guys as well. When you wear a fragrance, depending on what you're doing, own it. Make it yours. In the sense of, I'm giving you an experience when you're around me. This fragrance is not going to be worn by everyone. And I know people can say I'm going to get into niche and I have to stay with niche because I want fragrances that everybody wears. So what? I mean, you're not the same as everybody else. You got to bear in mind, guys, as well, your skin chemistry is not going to be the same as somebody else. So when this goes onto your skin, the smell that it gives off will not be the same. You know, if I eat a lot of garlic and I have a lot of, let's say, turmeric and different curry paste and different things like that, my skin can give off, from my pores, a different type of smell than somebody else. You know, so you got to bear that in mind, guys. Now, is this fragrance worth £150? I'm going to say it's one of those fragrances that you don't need. I think it's good to have in the collection if you can afford to do so. But if you can't afford to do so, I would say maybe stick with the EDT. The Parfum concentration is good, but at the same time, the projection for me, I like to be one or the other. It's kind of middle of the road. Because that one is slightly different in smell, where this one again is like fully dry. Make a decision. But if you want grown, sexy, I think this is one to go and check for. Longevity wise, guys, I was getting at least about, I mean, this is the thing about fragrances with me. I like to smell the fragrance on me as well. So I did reapply this one on the second night, on the Saturday, but on the Friday, I didn't need to reapply it because I felt comfortable in it. I could still get whiffs of it and everything else. So we're talking about at least 6 hours or so plus. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's enough to know I'm getting 8 hours or plus, possibly, but maybe at that point I wasn't noticing it anymore because I was just so used to the scent. Spray this on clothes, guys, you'll probably push, in my opinion, to get a little bit longer. Let's say you'll get up to 8 hours, possibly even smell it the next day. It's not beast mode fragrance, it's not supposed to be, it's a close, intimate fragrance. So did this fragrance work for me? I'm going to say yes, it did. Did I get any compliments? No, it didn't. But the overall vibe and the energy I got and the feedback I got and how ladies responded to me when I was wearing this one, I can't complain. So those are my thoughts, guys. Leave your comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Did this really work? I'm going to say yes. And I'll see you next video. Peace.